So basically, I've set the simulator up for instead of the hard players like I usually set up in these sessions. I set it up for the medium skilled players, and I set it up to play under the gun every hand, a full ring game. And the reason I did that is because the theme here is c betting out of position, and I have a feeling that this configuration of this simulator is going to give us opportunities to c bet out of position. These guys are going to call more than they three bet, and I think, and all we can do is just see what's going to happen, and then we'll talk about scenarios when we're in a position where we'll be c betting. So, all right, here I opened this up a little while ago, and it automatically played the first hand and left the action on us with this 7 and 6 of clubs. Actually, we're not under the gun; we're under the gun +2. That we will have more hands to play because I also have it set up to play playable hands. So we could just play every hand if we wanted to. Jim, I can't hear you. Okay. So what do you think? Should we we're not gonna limp behind here. Are we gonna raise?
I don't know. I've been experimenting with three betting the connectors, but this is kind of early, no?
Yeah, this is we're going to be under the gun +2 every hand. So this one limped, under the gun +1 limped.
Just limped. Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I might raise it. Yeah.
Yeah. By how much in a cash game here?
In a cash game, I might go to like 8 or 9.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. 3x plus an X for every limper.
Yeah.
In a tournament, I go more aggressive. I'll go as high as 4x plus 2x for every limper. But in a cash game, I think it just 3x plus an X for every limper is good. So let's do that. So we'll go to 4 big blinds. Well, we're going to be c betting in position. So, what do you
Pretty
think?
Good position to be in. That's one of the flops you want to see when you raise with 7-6.
Yep. Yeah, we've got an open ender plus a second pair. Just got to be cautious about about the straight draw. We got the straight draw too. So
yep.
I think
so
we
we're
can see bet.
it.
So what about sizing?
Well, in a vacuum, I think we want to be sizing up a bit on flops like this because they're so dynamic, and particularly when our villain limps, this is the kind of flop that they're going to have a lot of strength on. So I would probably be c betting on this with a pretty not that wide a frequency of hands, not that big a frequency of hands, but when I do c bet, it's going to be for a pretty big sizing, I think.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Sure.
What's the worst hand that calls, and what's the best hand that folds?
That's a great question, Gennaro. Let's do some targeting, right?
That's my question of the week.
Yeah. So that's a great question.
We've got the 6 and we've got the straight draw, but there's also a flush draw possibly.
Yep.
And any, ace 8 beats us, right? That's certainly a category for a limping hand, right?
Yeah, I don't think a hand that has like the 7 of diamonds in it or any 2 diamonds is basically going to fold to any size that we want to have in our toolkit right now. And I don't think like a set's going to fold. I don't think 5-6 is going to fold. So I'm targeting hands basically over cards that are actually going to beat us if we don't improve. Hands like Jack Queen or probably 9-10's not folding, but 10 Jack maybe
Queen 10 or something.
Yeah, because there's a lot of overcard. Like there's a lot of turns and rivers that we don't want to see. Yeah, so
That's just it. We do have a pair, so the overcard is perfect, the one to target here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But we also have the straight draw potential, but it's going to be a little scary if we make our straight, because it's going to be a 4-card straight on the board. So it's often hard to get paid a lot when it comes in. So I like to size up when we have a draw that if it comes in, it's going to be scary, because it's going to be hard to get paid afterwards. So we get sort of some bluff or some fold equity, but we also get to build a pot for when it comes in. So what if we had a 6 without a 7 here? What if we had Jack 6?
We wouldn't have been in the hand to begin with.
Yeah, true. Good point. Good point.
Ace 6 suited.
Yeah, ace 6 of spades.
Yeah.
Then maybe we. Then I think I'd probably bet smaller, because I really only want to get the overcards to fold. Like, that's really all I care about at that point, is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like here, if we bet bigger, do you think any ace is folding?
Yeah, good question.
Right. Because you did set it to kind of medium strength players, and they tend to chase the aces, right?
Yeah.
Because we 3-bet.
Well, we raised because they limped.
Sorry, we raised. Yeah,
we
didn't.
We
ISO. Yeah, we raised. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So they have a limping hand to start with.
Yeah.
But we don't know enough about them to say what that might be.
Yeah. Is ace 4 offsuit a limping hand? I don't know.
Right.
For some it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to play in those games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I in real time, I think, what's the pot right now? 19. I'm probably betting something like 13 here, 12, something like that.
Yeah.
Even though I typically bet smaller on the flop, this one feels like, for whatever reason, it feels like I should be betting bigger here.
Yeah, I think I'd be betting like 60, 70%, same range. I want a lot of folds, right?
Yeah.
13?
Sure.
Okay. Now, one consideration here is, with that limping range that then called us out of position, who's got the nuts advantage?
I think they do.
Yeah.
They've got all the low sets. They've got some of the straights here. So we don't want to see a raise here. But I think we are kind of playing. We're kind of playing the strongest, almost part of the strongest part of our own range that we could actually be playing right now, in a way, given that this is one of our only combos that have a straight draw. Like, how many 7s do we have when we raise over a limp that isn't a 6-7 or an 8-7?
Yeah.
Maybe ace 7 suited. So this is actually like given our action, I feel like we're pretty high in our distribution here, because even our other strongest hands are only ever going to make a 1-pair hand. They're going to be like the big over pairs.
Yeah.
This is one of the few combinations of hands that we have in our range that can actually make a really big hand on a board like this.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we're scared about diamonds, but
yeah, that's always something I find hard about playing these hands, like the suited connectors, the mid ones.
Yeah.
And it's when you do hit, how strong are you really?
I honestly, if I hit 1 pair with a hand like this, I'm folding every action. Yeah. When I play suited connectors, and even some, like, a lot of the time my wheel aces, I'm not playing for 1 pair.
No.
Like, 1 pair, you're going to go broke, especially when you take these strong lines with them, because your opponent's range has gotten pretty strong by the time they're calling raises pre-flop.
Yeah.
So it's not like they just opened. So that range is already.
It's almost like set mining. You hit
strong
or you don't.
Yep, I think so.
Right.
And then this is exactly the kind of spot, even though you only have 1 pair, like, what you're really playing is the draw ability here, and
Yeah.
how disguised it'll be to this opponent who's expecting you to have a lot of overcards right now. Like, we should have a lot of unpaired overcards right now when we
Yeah.
raise over the limper, right? That's a lot of like Broadway. When you factor in a lot of the offsuit Broadway combos in there, we were talking about that lately, Gennaro, right? That's like
Yeah.
20% of your opening range is offsuit Broadway. A lot of those are raising over limpers here.
Yeah.
So I hope we don't get check raised, but a thinking player probably check raises here at a pretty high frequency, to be honest with you. Because we should be c-betting a lot of those hands. Although, you know what? Maybe we don't even c-bet a lot of those hands because it's not our board.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do a little less talking for the next little while. That was a lot of gym talk.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. If they're checking, then they probably got a lot of those hands, and they didn't hit the board.
Right.
That's why I'm thinking we bet a little bigger, right? You know, whatever the 60% or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because they're checking a missed flop. And we're trying to capitalize.
They'll be trapping, I think, some here too because of those other limped hands. But we're blocking a lot of those, honestly, with 6-7 right now. It's less likely that they have that than they would have some other combos.
Yep.
And also the suited varieties aren't as available because we've got clubs, there's hearts and diamonds on the board. So for them to have another one, they'd have to have exactly the 7 of spades in their hand.
Yeah.
To have a 6 or an 8 or something else as well, along with the 9, because we can see all the other cards of those other suits. So they really don't have a lot of combos of those. And the hands that they do have, even the sets, we can improve over them with our straight.
Yeah.
Which is nice. So yeah, and plus we're in position that also inclines me to make this a bigger pot. And I think we can maybe even get stacks in by the end of the river if we make it what we need to make it. What do you think, Keith?
Yeah, I'm inclined to either make a big c-bet here or actually check back, just because this is such a check raise type board.
So what hands do we c-bet? Because we should be checking back a lot on boards like this. So then what hands that we raise over limpers with should we have in our c-betting range? Because I don't think we should check back 100% of the time. Yeah. So we're betting a set of 8s, right? We probably raise over limpers with pocket 8s.
Mm-hmm.
So we're definitely betting those. What else are we betting? Are we
sixes, right?
Are we raising over
any
limpers?
Kind of set? Yeah.
Yeah. If we're not calling with those, if we're raising with those, for sure. I think we definitely want to bet hands like, I mean, we got here with 7-6, so maybe 7-9 isn't out of this world. I don't think we're raising over limpers with 7-4, but 9-7 we could. Yeah. I think we're betting that because of the flush draw.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, if we had a flush draw, we'd be betting too as a semi bluff.
Yeah. Well, I'm more inclined to bet.
Getting check raised.
Yeah. I'm more inclined to bet, and if I get raised, I fold. Because with this type of hand, I mean, what are we hoping to get? We're hoping to get a 6 or a 7 or a straight draw, and that's what we got, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of got what we wanted.
Yes, that's true. I think we did get what we wanted.
Thinking we probably shouldn't check because we got what we wanted, and we want the other player to know this is what we wanted.
Maybe we have enough other better hands to bet with, though. I mean, that's the question that Keith's saying, I think, which is so
7-8 would be better.
Yeah, 7-8 would be better.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like
diamonds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously our sets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, this is a good conversation to be having because these are these threshold hands, right? Because like these also, what's nice about these is that it's a pretty good hand. Like it probably plays pretty well as a call or as a check or a bet
Yeah.
or as a check, if you know what I mean, because
Yeah.
like there's arguments for seeing future streets, there's arguments for getting money in. I
Yeah,
feel
'cause-
like our hand is too vulnerable to check while also having a lot of equity. It's weird. Like there's so many bad turns and rivers for us that I want to just fold out all those overcards.
Because I think if we don't get check raised, we just get called, then we're probably in a rough spot anyway. Right?
Yeah.
And well, I mean,
yeah, no, I think
it's
you're right.
probably overcards, right? Depending on what comes on the turn.
Depends on the sizing, I guess. Yeah.
Right. And like, a jack or a queen comes out on the turn, then we're in a difficult spot, I think. But
I love that Keith's going right for Range Trainer Pro.
This is the off table tools, man.
Yep. I like, and God bless KL Cleaton and that gang there, putting this fair use delay on. So this prevents you from using it competitively in real time against opponents. So this is why this is not real time assistance, but this is something that you get to use off the table.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna pretend that we're the one at MP2.
Okay.
And flop came like that.
Yep.
The early position player checked as expected,
which they're going to do a lot, even on a board like this.
And then us with 7-6 are going to bet.
It's a bet.
We're going to bet. It says we should bet small.
Small.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have any big bets on this board.
Yeah.
So it's saying as part of a complete theory, you're only ever betting small on boards like this, which I think makes a lot of sense. I would probably make an exploitative leap towards betting bigger with my pair plus draw hands here, but that might not be correct.
Okay. So let's make the small bet then.
Yeah, like a third.
A third.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Probably because we don't have the nuts advantage.
Yeah.
And you bet big when you have the nuts advantage. You bet small when you don't.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
According to Andrew Brokos.
Okay.
He knows what he's talking about.
Let's do it. Well, took it
Nah,
down.
they
Made
didn't
it
have
never
anything
in.
anyway.
Yep.
But we got the same amount of fold equity in that case out of the small sizing than we would have out of the big one. So
I'm really surprised at that because I've been using small sizing to like 25%.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how many folds you get with it.
Yeah.
Yep. If they don't have nothing, they don't want to invest anymore.
Yeah, they just don't want to.
So it does depend on what part of the range you're targeting, right? Like in a spot like this where you're trying to get them to fold just 2 unpaired overcards, a small bet can do it.
Yeah.
But you might be in spots where you're like, no, I need them to fold bottom pair here, or I need them to fold like second pair here or something like that. And then you got to, pick your sizing to target that particular hand. Nice.
All right.
That was a really good conversation already.
Yeah. Yeah. The very first hand.
Okay, that's time.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Here's another one.
Honestly, I love this hand, but I'm probably just folding it in early position.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I always fold this in early position.
Yeah, I don't play that until we get like to the hijack.
It is fun though. Like
yeah,
at the right table, I'm probably opening this pretty early.
Because if you do connect huge, you've got a very well disguised.
Yeah.
Especially a straight.
Yeah.
And it's nice having the kind of hand that an ace is good for. Generally, I like playing, it's nice when you see the ace and it's good news for you.
Well,
hello.
We
good
picked
news
up a
for
hand
us.
here. Yeah.
We saw an ace. Good news for us.
I usually play this one.
Yeah. I'll occasionally include drawing hands like this in my opening range.
Okay. We're going to be c-betting in position here.
Yeah, we got the ace of spades, which is great.
Yep. And with this dry board,
Yep.
This
Flat
is
trier now.
the static board. We've got the nuts advantage. But also the recommendation on this kind of a board is usually to go small.
It's got the flush draw, which is a little wet.
Yeah.
But the fact that we have the ace of spades really knocks a lot of those combos out. So I would be inclined to size down a little bit. Maybe a little more than your smallest sizing, just because there still is a flush draw out there. But it does feel like it's pretty.
So are you trying to get them to come along?
Yeah,
basically.
Exactly. It's a value bet. And I mean, we're deep enough that we would like to win a big pot here, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But we're out of position and we're going to end up with a one pair hand. So we're trying to get, what we'd like is for a king to happily put chips in.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you guys think? Do you guys try and target the king hands that he has, or do you try and target with a smaller sizing, like 8s through 10s and ace 7 and stuff like that? What do you think?
If we had ace-7?
No. If having aces right now, when we think about the size of the bet we want to make, are we trying to get paid by a king where we can choose a larger sizing, or are we trying to get paid by like that class of hands that's like jacks, 10s, 9s, 8s, ace 7, that kind of stuff?
For me, and I don't know if this is right, but like I tend to go bigger, like half pot and bigger, because I want the kings to come along or the draws to come along. And I'm kind of happy just to get a fold and take the money if that's the case. But I don't know if that's right. I mean, I might be able to make more if I bet a little smaller and get some of those, like, jacks or queens to come along kind of thing. Right.
Jacks or queens would have 3-bet us.
Yeah, queens for sure.
Jacks, 10s.
Yep.
You think?
Yep.
Oh, sure. Depending on the table you're in, I think a lot of players are just calling. Yeah. They're set
and
mining.
I think on the button too, they would, they might think they're disguising their hand.
Yeah.
They're just kind of calling because there's, it's just the blinds following them, right?
Yeah.
Again, we got two different schools of thought here. Go big to target the kings. Go small to see if the guy will come along with his spade draws or maybe a 7, some random 7.
Yep.
And that's it too. If we go small and a spade comes, I'm always, I mean, you've seen my variants, Jim. So I'm always worried about like a 5 of spades coming out, and then I'm like, oh geez, now I'm screwed, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're blocking a lot of those spade combos, but he's still going to have a bunch, and we don't want to just like give him a really good price and let him just draw to a flush.
And then we've got the draw, but they might have the flush, right?
Yeah.
Where was I before? MP2 versus
a button.
King 7-3. And the king and 3 were suited, right?
I think so. Yeah. Yep. Now, Range Trainer Pro is just going to give you the range sizing. So I'm guessing on a board like this, it's probably going to be mostly that like 30% bet or something like that.
Well,
they do have a couple sizes, 20 and 67.
And actually, our aces are preferring big over small.
Yeah.
So the 2/3 pot is what it likes.
Yep. All right.
So that's a alerting thing for me. I would have gone small just based on the flop texture.
Yeah, go back to that. Go back to that Range Trainer Pro breakdown, because it's actually one of the few hands that really favors the larger sizing. Also, ace 5, ace 4,
Yeah.
and then some of the 5-4, 6-5 hands. Look at that. The suited 6-5 suited, for instance, and 5-4 suited. Those are huge big bets because they've got the flush. I guess they've got the straight draw, and some portion of them also has the flush draw.
Yep.
And then like sets of threes are a big bet as well.
Yep. And it's balancing your aces.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like that.
All right. So we're going for big. 2/3 of 15 is 10.
Yes, sir.
And we got a customer here. So he probably called pre-flop with king queen.
Sure.
But
yeah, could, yeah.
But also king jack and king 10.
Yep.
Yeah. Ace, even ace king, which is
Yeah,
unlikely,
sometimes.
but I've seen it.
Yep.
Right.
So ace queen sometimes.
Yep.
So there's for every combination of king queen that he could have, he's got a lot of king and queen that aren't the king queen.
That's right. Yeah.
So we're still targeting kings and queens and hope he doesn't have both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's right. And I think we'd be foolish to check here and give up the value from all the second best hands that he has because we were worried about those few combos of 2 pair. Because we can lose to those few combos of king queen and still make money from all the 1 pair hands that we beat here in the long run. So we can't be afraid of that 2 pair right now. We're also capable of folding to a raise if we feel like we're behind later. But I think getting that value from those 1 pair hands is really important here.
Okay, so big or small? I think we still have the nuts advantage.
Yeah, I think big again.
And we have a nutted hand.
Yep. And a lot of the king X hands still feel pretty comfortable, I would imagine.
I think so, yeah.
Not much has changed for them. And they make up a pretty large portion of the calling range.
Yeah.
So
his
pocket queens is the only hand that's really turned around. And king queen, as you say.
Yeah. And I don't think he's got queens. I mean,
probably 3 bets. Yeah.
He probably 3-bet pre-flop. So what does KL have to say about this? So the queen suited to the 7 came out.
Yeah, that's right.
So we betted.
Oh, we bet
this.
Oh, he checked. No, that was. Oh no, that was.
Yeah, we betted this.
Right, we bet, and he called.
And he called. And then the queen suited to the 7. The 7 here is the heart, so we're looking for the queen of hearts. Okay, all of a sudden, yeah, KL doesn't like it all of a sudden.
Yeah, so what are we down there to? 75% or nothing?
And I don't think we're.
What is that? Hearts and spades?
Yeah, so it's
they're blocking the flush draws.
They're blocking the flush draws. So
let's see. Is that we're blocking one of the flush draws?
Yep.
Yeah, but not both of them.
Not the other one. Although we're blocking the front door one, which is important, I think. Because the back door one would have to have gotten here with 2 diamonds, which means basically exactly the king of diamonds at that point. I don't see them getting here with any other combination of hands that have a diamond in them. That have 2 diamonds in them, is what I'm going to say. So that's pretty rare. So I don't even mind kind of discounting that. Again, that's not, it's exploitable, but I think that's,
now this is a game theory optimal recommendation here.
Right.
An unexplainable recommendation. We don't know this guy from Adam that we're playing against. It's only our second hand on the table.
Right.
So should we play the unexploitable? or do we want to play the population and exploit it?
It's a good question. How do you guys decide that on a tournament by tournament basis or on a cash game by cash game basis? Like if you're in a tournament, you could just decide like how important is this tournament to me?
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends on the player too, right?
Yeah.
If it's, and these are the guys I have trouble with. It's the really loose players. They could come along with a lot of stuff, and I think I'd try to exploit them, maybe too much. Whereas
Right.
the tighter players are more, if they come along, they've got something, right? Whereas it's the chasers, I think, that you would want to exploit. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's true. Now, interestingly, when I look at the solver output here, he's actually got us folding or checking the ace of spades hands.
This is different suits.
Yeah, but it's still it's the double suited one, right? Ace of clubs,
Yeah.
ace spades, and ace of diamond, ace spades. They're both checking 100%.
Yeah.
So it's only the one it really emphasizes the ace of hearts as being the one, the backdoor flush, or the backdoor flush draw that it's got you betting big to block.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Isn't it?
What's the difference between the queen and the king, except that the queen is a backdoor?
Yeah, I think it's like what Jim was saying. For them to have the backdoor, they've got to have exactly the king.
Yeah.
Pretty much, right? So that's
I think so.
That's something we can bet, because they're not likely to have it, right?
I mean, that makes sense.
But the spade flush draw here there's a good chance they have it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's a much better chance they have that flush draw than.
I think so. They could have a lot more. Yeah, there's a lot more combos of the spade draw in their range. That's for sure.
So what do we want to do to this guy? And Andrew Farrelly from Serbia, loose passive intermediate. VPIP 47.
47.
PFR 2. So then, assuming that continues past the flop,
this guy's got king 7.
He's but he's also got just a ton of garbage that he's calling.
Yeah.
So then I'm definitely betting again.
Yeah.
I'm not. If I know we don't have that kind of information on this player. Like, how many hands is that information based on, or what's the?
It's just the overall. It doesn't say how many hands. It's just the overall what we know.
When you set up scenarios, they just give you these.
Yeah, because some of those numbers are pretty precise. So you can only achieve those numbers with a pretty big sample size. Otherwise, they'd be rounder numbers. Some of the numbers are very precise. So I think in that case, we can actually trust the reads on this player a lot more. So it's probably from a pretty big sample size. So then, if they're that call-y, I'm definitely betting here again.
He's a station, and we've got a value hand, so we go big.
Yeah. That really simplifies a lot of this stuff in my mind.
So we could go to we could go as high as 25 here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if I guess. Yeah, I agree. 20-25, something like that. I think we try and get paid. Yeah.
We lost him.
Yep, that's all right.
All right. Next hand.
That was exhausting.
Yeah. We've only done 2 hands.
I know.
We've already been at it for over half an hour.
I'm probably just folding.
That's because you picked playable hands.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Where in the other sessions we're mostly folding.
Okay, with this under the gun 3.5x open with queen 10 suited.
Yeah,
and we're only in middle position. We're not in great shape here.
No, it's a pretty hand, but I'm probably folding this spot.
Yep. on the dealer button we might call with it, but
So would you like sometimes, depending on who's behind, would you call this?
I mean, it's one of those kind of.
Once in a while. I mean, not all the time, obviously, but
Yeah, once in a while, sure. Again, it's a cash game, so it is different from a tournament. It's not that big a mistake.
Like an occasional call, full to 3-bet, right?
Yeah, I mean, the under the gun range is really tight, and he's opening to 3.5. So I'd want to see if that's his typical opening size. Sometimes that extra chip is an indication of strength, and then that's just not the kind of range you want to take this kind of hand into.
This hand could be completely dominated, and we're hurting bad.
The other issue is there's too many players to our left who can raise.
Yeah,
that's the real issue.
That's the real issue.
It's a very pretty hand, and if you could tell me that I could take it against the under the gun range heads up right now in position, and no one else got to play in the hand, then I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But the fact is,
what if it was like a min raise or something? Is that?
Yeah, I'm more inclined because then you're not giving up that much when you get squeezed and you can't continue. Or maybe they squeeze from the small blind and get a couple callers. Now you're getting a really good price on closing the action to call a 3-bet. That's not the end of the world either. I think in this scenario, though, I'm probably folding.
Yeah.
No, we'll never know.
All right. This suited ace is, we're not in real early position. I might fold this one under the gun, but here under the gun +2, probably going to open with it.
Yeah, I've got ace 4 and ace 5 just slightly ahead of ace 3 and ace 2 in my tiers. So I'll be opening ace 4 suited here.
Yeah. And then if we get 3-bet, this is in the 4-bet range.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, not every time, but yeah.
Yeah. We know
Pretty
how
good.
he is.
Mr. 47.
Oh yeah, right. So then that makes this a value hand again, as far as I'm concerned, when they're that wide.
Yeah.
We can get called by all sorts of hands here.
And with this static flop, we can probably go small again.
Mm-hmm. You go like
4 or 5.
5 or 6. Yeah.
5 or 6.
Something like that.
It's a pot. 15, yeah. Yeah, 1/3, right? 5 is 5.
Yeah. That feels good.
All right. And he called us.
Yep. I'm not too worried about the 6.
This didn't change anything. I don't think we change our action.
No, still got a value hand. We're playing. We're chopping with a lot of the other aces now, actually, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably a 1/3 again, huh?
Yeah, maybe a little more. You want to go like 10? I mean,
yeah. This is a station. We do want to get value. We're betting for value here.
And they did fold to a larger bet on the turn last time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think this is the spot where I feel like, okay, now the question is, how much will a pair of 10s call?
Yeah.
So how much will a pair of 10s call here?
So there's that question too, and then I'm also thinking, is their ace better than a 10?
Right.
If they have one.
Yep. Could be. They're because they're real. They're not 3-betting much. This player is very passive. They're not 3-betting much.
But with the 47% VPIP,
they're calling a lot.
There's a good chance their ace is not better than a 10 as well.
I think if we get raised, we're pretty much folding no matter what, right? Like we don't beat any value hands that raise us.
Yeah.
Oh.
And these passive players are not raising light.
No.
So I think we can very comfortably bet fold. So we don't want to value own ourselves against like ace jack here. But I think we want to get paid by a 10 or pocket nines or, you know, pocket jacks, the weird times that they have pocket jacks or something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Split with an ace 9.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or maybe they fold a bad ace.
Or maybe they fold
right?
a bad ace. Yeah.
I mean, probably not. No, probably not.
No.
And we can't have one of those magical bets where they call with a 10 and fold an ace, right? That's not allowed.
That's it. I don't think they're folding any aces, but
no,
they've got all the aces, and most of them are less than 10.
Yeah, most of them are chopping with. So, yeah, I feel like we're targeting a 10 here.
Yeah.
And I don't want to bet. I mean, I guess the 10, this is the third street here, but it is a very call-y opponent. I don't know. Do you guys think a little more than half pot, a little less than half pot?
They're passive, just calling. They could be doing it with kings and queens, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Especially if they're so passive that they would flat tree at that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's got to be. It can't be too small. I think betting like a third is too small.
No, half at least. I think.
Yeah. Let's go half. Take 20, that, Kim.
25. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the half pot click bet. And
there you go.
10 was it.
That's what we wanted.
Yep.
That's why you're the coach, Jim.
He called down a triple barrel with second pair and mediocre kicker.
Yeah. Well, we're repping that ace a lot, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's not, that's the other thing. It's like, that's a board that we should be bluffing at a lot. So then when we actually do have an ace, let's get paid.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
And a player with those stats too probably thinks we have a weaker 10.
Right. Right. Or just air,
Jack,
queen, king, queen, something like that in the middle.
We're going for the straight.
Or he's in love with his pair and doesn't even think about what we might have.
Those kind of players that call everything, right? They're optimists.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we need more optimists in life.
That's right.
Yeah.
You said it.
Especially at the poker table. All right, next one. 8-6. Now, in a typical cash game with this many behind, I'm not even opening with this.
No.
It's advanced poker training called it a playable hand, but I'm not crazy about it. How about you guys?
Pretty close. Again, it's the same spot. It's kind of like a pretty hand, but I don't want that many players in position. Don't want to call a 3-bet with this one, so might just fold.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, let's see what KL has to say. All right, let's see. Raise first in. 100 big blinds. Middle position. He's not.
Nope. It's that cusp hand, though. It's close.
Yeah.
8-7 every once in a while, 7-6 every once in a while, but it's just not. Now, what about later position? Try the hijack. Can we see the hijack for that one? Yeah, there it is.
Now it's added.
That's it. That's how close it is.
There's less chance of getting 3-bet.
Yep. Exactly. There you go. So that's really valuable, you guys. If you can start recognizing those cusp hands that are like yes from the hijack, but low from MP2, or but no from MP2, that's how you start to recognize those ranges.
All right. I'll open the 6s even from under the gun. And looks like we're C-betting out of position again.
How about that?
Theme of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a flush draw that gets killed. So
Yes.
we've got pair. This is a
We've got another pair. We've got another draw. We've got the backdoor
Yep.
straight. We got the low card flush.
yeah. But being out of position,
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about this one
No.
because we have some value. We don't want to get raised off of our value. So we can check call a street here.
Yep, I think so.
Okay, and they're betting pot.
Pot size, yeah.
Betting pot probably because of the monotone board.
Although you can get a lot of the same fold equity, honestly, from a small bet there.
Yeah.
I think, if I were, every time I see a monotone board like this, I'm betting 1/3, 25% with like
That's what I
100% of
do.
my range. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
so what they
But-
bet 17 into 15 or into
Yeah, into 18 or something, or
wow.
not 18, 17 into 15.
Total pot's 32 now. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah. That's what I was gonna ask. For these, like I would have opened, but I'm basically set mining, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Right.
you were talking about like check call, even like a smaller bet, obviously, but
When we're set
I'd probably
mining,
even fold to a small bet on this one.
yeah. When we're set mining, our plan is to stack the guy with the set
Yeah.
Right.
and fold everything else. So on a deal like this, we need to stick with plan.
Yeah.
Particularly to this sizing, I think. I don't think we can profitably continue as a call, and
Yeah.
doesn't make me. I mean, the only thing we're blocking some future straight flush combinations, so you never know what
Yeah.
could happen. But I think at this price, it's just time to go.
You
away
want to
out
go
of
for the
position.
backdoor straight flush?
Just saying, you never know. That's how you get a little magic happening every once in a while. But no, I think I was letting this. I was
Yeah.
letting this
They've
go.
got all kinds of sevens, all kinds of jacks.
Oh yeah,
They've got
Yeah.
pairs that
much
beat
bigger.
us.
We got like a ton of hands with one bigger spade than ours that
Yeah.
could also be paired. So I think that's
Yeah. Yeah.
10
Plan will
10
work.
jack
Work
off.
with
Fold
plan.
and peak. Fold and peak.
Yeah, fold and peak. That's right. Let's see.
Oh.
Oh
Wow, we had them crushed. We had them crushed.
Yeah. But
So
we were
I
out
think,
of position.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a fun reveal. You don't see that very often. Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's a ballsy bet.
Well, they're really pushing their fold equity. I
Yeah.
think they probably
Yeah.
could achieve the same with half pot bet there, but
Yeah.
maybe not.
So we'll pretend she showed. So
Yeah.
that now we know how she plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is borderline, right? It's a baby pair just like fives. It's really
For me, it's too early.
substantial difference between deuces and threes, fours, and fives.
Yeah. I know I have this leak where I really enjoy flopping sets. I like
Yeah,
flopping
well,
sets. I want to
everybody
take
does.
small pairs I want to see flops with small pairs. So
Yeah.
if I'm honest with myself, I'm just limping behind here
Yeah.
and trying to see a cheap flop and maybe flopping a set.
Because
It's
they never
fun.
see it coming.
Never see it coming.
Okay, yeah, I never limp except in the small blind, but we'll see
Yeah.
if we can do something exploitative here.
Yeah, I mean it's probably I'm not even sure what the correct probably just default here, but
Yeah.
I'm weak.
Well, yeah, we don't have a range against the limp. Range Trainer Pro doesn't give us range against the limps. So you guys want to have some fun and call this and see what happens?
Sure. I do call sometimes, but
We got
usually,
ISO'd,
yeah, usually I would fold it until like a couple of positions later.
and
Now it's a
based on
cash game. What do we need?
But in a cash game, yeah.
Yeah, we need 15 times 13 to be
no 15
11.
times 11 because
11.
we're already in for 2.
Oh.
It's only 1100 to call.
Yeah,
Or it's only
well,
11
Yeah.
to call.
15
11.
times is that what for set mining?
Keith's giving a little buffer for the times that we don't actually stack our opponent. I think it's like 11 1 what is it, 9 1 in 9 times you're actually going to hit the set, but a lot of the times you're not actually going to get stacked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you need 15 these days. It used to be 10.
Yeah.
But these days you need 15, and we're barely getting it, with his stacks behind.
Yep. It'd be nice if we were in position.
Yeah.
Again, personal weakness. I'm probably just if I'm getting the right odds, I'm probably just making this call and hoping to hit it too, and so be it. I think it in a real in the tournament that we cared about, it's probably a discipline fold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cash game. I'm thinking I'm calling this.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, cash
Yeah.
game. I keep forgetting we're in a cash game here. That does make me more
Cash
inclined.
game, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you
definitely
guys wanna
calling
do?
then. I'm
Oh, yeah.
calling then.
Let's call.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
Boo.
Yeah. So we could fold out a turn. No.
Yeah,
we're not gonna-
yeah. No, the old check and
And we're out.
reload.
Yeah.
Nope. Goodbye.
It was fun though.
It was.
This one's easy.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Takes
easy.
it down. For me, this is easy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's again, it's one of those positional things. I'd feel better about it a little later, but I kind of feel about suited aces the same way I feel about low pocket pairs. It's like any hand that can make the nuts is pretty exciting for me, especially in a cash game.
And we've got the 5x5 here.
Oh boy.
Facing a raise.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd be calling this. What about you guys?
Me too.
Yeah, I tend to just call the pairs out rather than 3 bet.
We got squeezed and then the
No,
well,
call. Bring it
now
on.
the odds are good.
That's awesome. I love that.
6
the
to
old
1 almost.
ace 5
right?
5.
we didn't hit it, so we're gonna have to go away now. But
Yep,
in a
I
cash
think
game,
so.
you just keep doing that, and eventually it pays off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just reload when you get short.
Yeah.
Hey Keith, I got to jump off here, but I am enjoying this. I can't wait for next month. I'm gonna be here having a good time with you all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks,
All
Janelle.
right. Yeah, I think
See ya.
it's time to quit anyway.
Yeah, I think we're done anyway, right?
Yeah.
All right, catch up again soon.
Okay.
Thanks again.
Okay.
See you later.
Okay, Gennaro. Thanks for coming.
Okay. See you next month.
You bet.